right now. And ready for you, Arnold. When you're ready, we'll roll. Are you ready?
Mhm.
All right, stand by.
If you have an opportunity to hear the United States Air Force Band of Mid America, you don't want to miss them, and they're going to be in our area very soon. Listen to more on St. Louis in Tune. Greetings, listeners in listener land. Welcome to St. Louis in Tune, and thank you for joining us for fresh perspectives on issues and events with experts, community leaders, and everyday people who are driving change and making an impact that shapes our society and world. I'm Arnold Stricker, along with co-host Mark Langston.
The co-host with the most.
With the mostest.
The mostest, right. That's it.
How you doing today, Mark?
Doing great. Good to see you.
It's good to be seen.
Yes, it is. That is true. That's true. Got a good show today.
We do. We have a wonderful guest on. And before we get started, we're going to return to civility. It's always good to be civil folks and learn civility. So here is our cue. When you respond to an email, use the person's name. It's much nicer to receive a message such as, "Hi, Jen. I received your report," as opposed to, "Yeah."
Yeah. Yeah, thanks.
I think some people of our generation also in
Mhm.
texting, I even use punctuation and capitalization and complete sentences also.
Yeah. Isn't that nice?
Yes.
That's nice. You know what always got me? Can I give you my pet peeve?
Give away.
Okay, just one real quick one. When I talk about my wife Maria, I always add her name. I always hated it when people said, "Yeah, my wife," "Yeah, my husband," "Yeah, my brother," "my kid." They have a name, It's like, it's nice to say it's my wife Maria, my son Michael, my son Matthew, my daughter Shannon.
Gives
Yeah,
definition.
right. It does. It does. So I don't know if that's my civility thing today.
No, that's good. I think that's very good
It's
because
kind of along the same lines there.
it makes them
Mhm.
human.
Yeah.
They're there. It's not like
Wow.
they're some inanimate object.
What a concept. Okay.
So when you respond to an email, use the person's name.
Yeah.
Well, the person we're going to be talking to today is Senior Master Sergeant Ryan Leatherman. He serves as a superintendent and saxophone player for the Band of Mid-America. He joined the Air Force in 2009 and was assigned to the U.S. Air Force Band of the West in San Antonio, the U.S. Air Force Band of the Pacific at Joint Base Pearl Harbor-Hickam. And he has been on multiple international tours to locations such as Japan, Australia, and Singapore. He's originally from Des Moines, Iowa, and has a bachelor's degree from Drake University, dual master's from the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign, and saxophone and jazz studies. Wow, that's a mouthful. Senior Master Sergeant Ryan Leatherman, welcome to St. Louis in Tune.
Hey, it's great to be with you. Thanks for having me today.
Wow, tell us a little.
Before we start, I have many opinions today, Master Sergeant, but what a name you have, Leatherman. It just kind of fits with being a senior master sergeant, Leatherman.
So unfortunately, with that name, I don't get any of the royalties that come from sales of the Leatherman tool.
What a bummer.
That's always it's a bummer, but somehow we get by anyway.
Wow.
Do they send you any freebies or anything?
No, they haven't so far, but I guess I haven't tried hard enough yet.
Someday I want to talk about senior master sergeants, and they seem to like run the place.
Yeah.
And why aren't they like a captain or a major? I mean, you certainly are probably more qualified than I didn't say that.
Well, it's just a little bit of a different path to get there, but trying to help those officers do their job.
That's good. It's good. Somebody has to do it. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm done.
So you've been a member of the Air Force Band of Mid-America for how long now?
So I got here, came from what we refer to as a hardship tour in Hawaii in 2019. And
somebody's got to do it.
Yeah, so I've been here for almost 5 years now, and it's been great. It's the first time in a while I've been close to home, being from Iowa. So really enjoyed being in the Metro East here in St. Louis and working at Scott Air Force Base. So
And let people know what the band, where the band is, first of all, and what the band does and what their roles are.
So the Air Force Band of Mid-America is stationed at Scott Air Force Base here on the Illinois side of the metro area. And our job in the Air Force bands is to honor, inspire, and connect. We honor the service of those that have gone before us and those who are currently serving in the United States military. We seek to inspire the next generation to serve as well, and inspire Americans with the stories of the great things that our men and women in uniform are doing, and then also to connect. Sometimes we are the face-to-face connection that folks have with their military nowadays as we travel across 10-state area here in the Midwest, from Arkansas to Minnesota, and then on over from Indiana over to the other side of Missouri into Kansas sometimes. So it's our privilege to be out front and telling folks about the great things that other men and women in uniform are doing around the world right now, and then to let them know about the opportunities they have to serve as well.
And you have performed, or I should say, the Mid-America Band has performed for many distinct personalities, presidents, and the Queen of the Netherlands, and Pope John Paul II.
Wow.
And what are some memorable performances with some distinctive personalities that you can remember?
Well, we perform oftentimes for military leaders, and here at Scott Air Force Base, it's the headquarters of United States Transportation Command. So basically, anything that moves in the Department of Defense is coordinated right here, just down the street from where I am right now. So we get a lot of folks, from elected officials and cabinet members and things, folks like that that'll come through here too. And then when I've been stationed overseas with the band, got to play for Prime Minister of Japan and other foreign leaders as well. A lot of times we're connecting with the State Department to help make friends for the United States and other countries as well, just to show goodwill for some of those countries, especially out in the Pacific, to make friends and hopefully build future relationships.
Do you call it members of the band or instruments? How big of how many? Probably one of your questions, Arnold. But how many members are in the band?
Sure, our band has 60 members, and we have a pretty wide range of musical capabilities that come out of that. These concerts that we're going to be talking about today coming up, it's our concert band. But then within that, we've got a jazz ensemble. We've got a top 40 cover band basically as well, and then smaller groups that'll go out and play classical music, jazz. So we've got some terrific vocalists and singers as well that are very talented and really make for an entertaining show as we get out and play these public concerts.
And let's talk about those concerts, Ryan, because the Chronicles of Valor concerts are coming up, folks, May the 21st through the 24th. And describe what those concerts will be, and then we'll kind of get into the venues and the times of those.
Right. So those are 90-minute concerts, and all of our performances are free and open to the public. So we do have tickets that are available ahead of time just to make sure you've got a seat. And you can find those free tickets at the website is afbandtix.com, afbandtix.com. That's AF as in Air Force, bandtix.com. And the program for those concerts includes classical music, jazz. We've got some Broadway music from the great Cole Porter musical Anything Goes, patriotic music, of course, and we always take time to say special tribute to our nation's veterans. So Memorial Day is obviously on our minds here in the coming weeks. So the music that we selected for that is it's some of the music from Saving Private Ryan. We've also got an award-winning composer in our own ranks as well that has written a couple of pieces for us that we're going to be playing on there as well. We've got music from John Williams and all kinds of terrific things. So the way I like to talk about it is, if you like music, and most people do, there's something for everybody at one of our concerts coming up here this next week.
And these are wonderful venues. So here are the venues, folks. It's at the Skip Vereg Center for the Arts at Chaminade School. That's Tuesday, May the 21st at 7 p.m. And then May the 22nd, Wednesday, at Purser Center at Logan University at 7 p.m. there. Friday, May 24th at the Kirkwood Performing Arts Center at 7 p.m. Those are all great venues. And as Ryan was saying, you can go to afbandtix.com to get tickets. Probably not a bad seat in any of those places. They're all decent places to play. And you guys play a lot of outside things too, don't you?
We do. We had some folks out here playing for some of the airmen on base here at Scott yesterday, just out in the sun. And yeah, outside, inside, we're always up for playing music. So.
Mm.
And it's not funny what I'm going to say, but I'm looking right now at on the website. Their website is music.af.mil, and this particular one is the Air Force Band of Mid-America. And there are some auditions for tuba, bassoon, horn, and classical trumpet that are available. So if there's anybody who listens who might have an interest in that, a lot of the performers I know do have degrees in instrumental performance or masters also there.
So do they have to be in the military? No.
So yeah, we are full-time active duty members of the military, and this is our job. Like, one of the questions we'll get a lot of times is, "Oh, you're in the Air Force. What do you fly?" And usually we say, "Well, it's Delta or Southwest, one of the two." Kind of depends on that. So no, we don't fly planes, but yes, we do wear the uniform. We all go through basic training and serve our country just like the rest of the airmen. We just happen to have the privilege of playing music and getting out to tell the American public about the great things the Air Force is doing. So yeah, those auditions, we've got auditions going on throughout the year. There are several Air Force bands around the country, and so different places will host those auditions. And there's no requirement for a degree. That's typically the level of experience that folks who are successful in those auditions have, but anyone's welcome to submit materials for that. And we are always looking for the next great tuba player, or I mean, you mentioned playing clarinet. So if you're looking for a job, with age waivers are definitely something that we can work on as well if that's needed, or something like that. So
it's going to have to be a big age waiver for this guy.
So we're always looking for terrific musicians who want to take the time to serve their country, and it's a great job for musicians too. A steady paycheck, lots of benefits, and all of the great things that come from healthcare and things like that come from serving in the U.S. military.
Wow!
For those who want to play the classical side and or the jazz side, because you do both. And what was your path that you got there? Because I know you had a career before you joined the Air Force.
Right. So I took, I finished my undergraduate degree years ago, and I think at that point I spent some time actually working in campus ministry for a while, and then worked as a freelance musician for a couple of years before going back to school to kind of shore up those skills that I needed. And with the saxophone, that is an instrument where you've got kind of that option to play classical or jazz. But really working as a professional and spending a lot of time practicing. That's for anybody that's interested in trying to get a job with a military band. That's always the big thing. Just to love music, to get out there and play it as much as you can, especially performing. And it's been a terrific job for me. So as I was wrapping up my third year of grad school and working on a doctorate, my wife and I at the time, sorry, I'm supposed to use names. My wife, Lisa, and I, right, has
there you go.
We had 2 kids at the time, and so I was looking at the bank account going the wrong way, and then saw this terrific job opportunity come up with the Air Force, and so it's been a great fit for us as our family has grown and expanded. It's really been a great way to continue to play music and actually be able to support a family too, without having to take whatever gig comes up at midnight or something like that. So
now, does the Air Force have I'm looking at some of the education that you have, the Community College of the Air Force. You have an applied science degree in music. Do they have something like the Navy School of Music in Little Creek?
They don't, actually. The Air Force does not. That differentiates us from the other services as well. We actually come in already qualified and trained on our instrument. So that's why we'll advertise these auditions and put folks through that audition process, and they'll actually apart from having to go through basic training, they'll be fully qualified for the job as musicians before they. I mean, for me, I had that all sorted out and won an audition before I even went to see a recruiter. So that's what makes our job a little bit unique in comparison to some of the others in the Air Force, is that the Air Force doesn't train us to do it. We all come in already with that skill set, and that's really kind of the nature of music. You know, it takes 10, 15, 20 years to really learn the skills that you need to be a great musician.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, no technical training for us. No need to stop at the Army or the Armed Forces School of Music. Just come straight here from basic training and get to work.
So you did have to do basic training, though.
That's right.
Ooh,
Lovely summer vacation in San Antonio.
Is that 8 weeks, Ryan?
Yeah, it was. Well, it was 8.5 weeks, but then they have this thing they call 0 week, right? So you're there and it doesn't count. But so it really ends up being 9.5 weeks that you're down there. So
that's not
but
bad.
Yeah, we all what we tell folks as they're coming in is that we all got through it as musicians.
And you really don't have time to practice either, do you?
No, you have to put your horn away. You are, if you're going into an Air Force band, you'll be a part of a flight down there that participates in the drum and bugle corps that plays at graduations and sometimes a couple of other ceremonies down there. So I didn't touch a saxophone, but I spent a lot of time playing the tuba while I was down there for what that's worth. So you get to play a little bit of music, but and we do our best to give folks the chance to kind of pick up their horn and remember how to play. Get back on music training. So
I was going to say, do they give you time to get your chops back in shape?
Chops back, okay.
Yeah, you gotta. Definitely need a little bit of time. So we do our best to accommodate that, but sometimes folks will hit the ground running. I mean, we had a bassoon player that came in last fall, and he was up and running within, I think, about a week of getting back. He's like, I want to play.
Wow,
there we go.
That's great. Arnold Stricker with Mark Langston of St. Louis in Tune. We're talking to superintendent and saxophone player in the Mid-America Band of the Air Force, Senior Master Sergeant Ryan Leatherman. So what is the superintendent? I know what a school superintendent does, but what does the superintendent of the band do?
So a superintendent, unfortunately, it's not very much saxophone playing that goes along with that, as you might expect. So it's a lot of time in front of a computer screen, really making sure we've got the right folks assigned to the different music ensembles that we have within the band. That's a big part of what I do. And then just helping with the behind the scenes things that, those parts of the military that we have going on to performance reports and making sure we're getting those done the right way so that our folks can get out and do their main job, which is playing music. So kind of help to oversee those things and hopefully take some of that off of our performers' plates so they can be out playing.
You're kind of in musical logistics then.
Oh,
right. Yeah. Logistics and troubleshooting and problem solving and all of those kinds of things.
Well, talk about some of those teams, Ryan. I know most people would identify with a concert band. It's the typical kind of instrumentation,
right?
And they would recognize a jazz ensemble. And you can discuss those a little bit more in detail, but you have Roots in Blue, Starlifter, Airlifter Brass, Midwest Winds, and probably my favorite, the Liberty Clarinet Quartet.
Right. There you go.
Love it.
Yeah. So that one's pretty straightforward. It's a team of 4 clarinet players that they'll play a wide variety of music. 3 V flat clarinets and then a bass clarinet. And really what we try to do is have everyone in our unit in the concert band also in another group, so they've got a couple of opportunities to get out and play, and that just helps us as we're trying to support the Air Force and things that are going on across 10 states. That gives us more of a footprint so that we can get out and perform with that. Airlifter Brass is a brass quintet, and they do a lot of ceremonies and perform at colleges and universities around the area as well, and really, again, try to advertise the opportunities we've got to come and join the Air Force band program and the Air Force in general as well. So our 2 cover bands, you mentioned them, Starlifter and Roots in Blue, they'll play anything and everything. All from Motown all the way up to 80s music to things that you'll probably hear on the radio right now if you turned it on too. So really, really trying to cover the gamut of those musical styles, and it's important for us to be thinking about that. The quote I always think of is from Leonard Bernstein, where he said, "For heights and depths, no words can reach. The music is the soul's own speech."
Mm-hmm.
And music has a power to communicate with people.
Yes.
That is, really second to none. I mean, you can do a lot with film and music work together to do that. But when you take away that visual element, you're just dealing with the music that really lets the imagination explore and kind of builds a connection in a different way. And so we're looking to use the power of music to connect with people. So the more musical settings we can put people in, whether it's a rock band, that's going to connect with people in one way. Whether it's classical music, could be, soaring, beautiful melodies. It could be something more somber. We of course have a marching and a ceremonial band element of things that we play. So I know we've got a parade coming up on Memorial Day, and so our ability to go out and play music and honor fallen service members during that time as well in that setting as we're up marching down the street and celebrating the freedoms that we have because of those that paid the ultimate price. It's really it's an honor and a privilege for us to be able to use all of those different types of music and those styles of music to connect with people in the way that only music can.
Senior Master Sergeant, when you march, I know you march, but do you do these switchbacks and things like I see at half times? I know it's a crazy question to ask, but I mean, the discipline of your band I know is intense, but do you do more than just march? You do kind of switchbacks?
Well, we don't.
Yeah.
We don't go out and do those marching band shows that you'll see a lot of high school and college marching bands.
Okay.
It's a lot of marching on the street, and then we also do play major sporting events. I've played NFL games, or we've got a Major League Baseball game that we're going to be playing. I won't say what team because it's not the Cardinals, right? But coming up later this summer, I know we'll have a team out, or a group out there performing on the field, playing the national anthem before the game. So it's a lot of those types of things, parades, and then those major sporting events. We actually had a vocalist that just sang the national anthem at the NASCAR races that were happening over in Kansas City last weekend.
Wow.
Too, and appeared on national TV doing that. So
that's great. Yeah, I think it makes me proud to see you guys and girls do this, guys and gals. I don't know, but it does. It makes me very proud to see because it's just you do such a fantastic job with it, and you can tell the dedication and that you've got a lot of pride in what you're doing as well.
Well, and the privilege really is ours. Appreciate your kind words. Just to get to make music and do it while honoring our country. It's a joy, and I've been doing it for about 15 years now, and I look forward to continuing, as I know most of my colleagues do as well.
Well, I will tell listeners that the Chronicles of Valor, May 21st, 22nd, 24th, I have been to concerts like this from military bands, and you will hear a extremely professional group. So it's a 90-minute concert featuring their 45-member concert band, and will honor the nation's fallen and share some stories of their sacrifices, reflect on all that makes us flourish as individuals and as a nation, and spectacular marches. I love marches. Patriotic music. Selections will include Broadway tunes and more. And don't want to miss it. May 21st, 22nd, 24th. Go to afbandtix.com, afbandtix.com. And I want to say, Ryan, thank you very much for taking time to talk with us about these upcoming concerts and your career and the importance of military bands and what they do in our armed services.
Well, thanks, Arnold and Mark, for having me today. It's great to talk with you, and hopefully we'll see you at one of our concerts.
That sounds great, Ryan. You take care.
Thank you.
Thanks, you too.
Bye-bye.
My name is Technical Sergeant Quincy Garner. I've been in the United States Air Force.
Here we go.
For
Wow.
17 years. Studying the history of jazz, I heard a rumor that Louis Armstrong may have recorded John Philip Sousa's Stars and Stripes Forever. I thought to myself, that had to be the Pretty amazing recording and rendition. I wondered what that would have sounded like. So I combined the musical elements of Louis Armstrong with that of John Philip Sousa, and the rest is history, so to say. The hot fives and hot sevens that we know about Louis Armstrong, and then mixing that with the march is something that I combined in the first half of the piece. And then the second half of the piece is some of the New Orleans second line street parade music that you hear today. Honoring veterans is very integral to our mission. As trumpet players throughout the career field, we play taps for our veterans who have paid the ultimate sacrifice. As an organization, we play music of a specific era that might connect with a veteran more specifically. Every interaction that I've had with a veteran over the years has been significant. I remember meeting Colonel Charles McGee, and at the time he was 90, giving a luncheon speech for Martin Luther King celebration. He was selling his book, and I bought his book and was able to get his autograph afterwards. He stood up, we shook hands, exchanged fraternal handshakes, and we took a picture. That still hold near and dear to my heart, that I was able to tell him how much he inspired me as an airman.
Isn't that fun, Mark? That's
Love it.
really fun.
It is. It's great.
And that was the group from Mid-America.
That's very exciting.
They have a whole slew of videos that they have online on their. They have a YouTube channel, so we'll post that on the show notes and everything like that. But please take time, folks, to try to catch that performance. Those performances again are May the 21st at 7 p.m. That's out at Chaminade School. May the 22nd, 7 o'clock at Logan University. And Friday, May the 24th at 7 p.m. at the Kirkwood Performing Arts Center. Go to afbandtix.com. Okay. So we'll be right back. This is Arnold Strickler with Mark Langston of St. Louis in Tune. This is Arnold Stricker of St. Louis in Tune on behalf of the Dred Scott Heritage Foundation. In 1857, the Dred Scott decision was a major legal event and catalyst that contributed to the Civil War. The decision declared that Dred Scott could not be free because he was not a citizen. The 14th Amendment, also called the Dred Scott Amendment, granted citizenship to all born or naturalized here in our country and was intended to overturn the U.S. Supreme Court decision on July 9, 1868. The Dred Scott Heritage Foundation is requesting a commemorative stamp to be issued from the U.S. Postal Service to recognize and remember the heritage of this amendment by issuing a stamp with the likeness of the man Dred Scott. But we need your support and the support of thousands of people who would like to see this happen. To achieve this goal, we ask you to download, sign, and share the one-page petition with others. To find the petition, please go to dredscottlives.org and click on the Dred Scott Petition Drive on the right side of the page. On behalf of the Dred Scott Heritage Foundation, this has been Arnold Stricker of St. Louis in Tune.
Thanks for listening to St. Louis in Tune. On each and every show, we strive to bring you informative, useful, and reflective stories and interviews about current and historic issues and events that involve people, places, and things. Hey, we cover a wide range of content in the arts, crime, education, employment, faith, finance, food, health, history, housing, and humor, justice, and sports, and that's just to name a few. While St. Louis in Tune originates from the Gateway City and covers local topics, we connect to what is going on nationally as well. If you missed any of our previously aired programs of St. Louis in Tune, simply visit stlintune.com. That's stlintune.com. There you'll find every show from our first to our most current. Use the search engine and look for a show that might interest you. And if you have an area that you'd like us to examine deeper, let us know. Just drop us a line at stlintune@gmail.com. That's stlintune@gmail.com. St. Louis in Tune, heard Monday through Friday on the usradionetwork.com and many great stations around the U.S. and, of course, right here in St. Louis. Our website again is stlintune.com. stlintune.com.
Ooh, yeah.
I want to hear the Air Force Band do this one.
Welcome back to St. Louis in Tune with Arnold Stricker and Mark Langston. I'm looking at the Air Force Band of Mid-America. I should say the United States Air Force Band of Mid-America instrumentation for their band.
Mm-hmm.
This is what a great instrumentation. It's
It's-
45 pieces.
That's amazing.
And it's like and I'm looking at the resumes of some of these
Mhm.
folks. Like a lot of them, you might recognize the Eastman School of Music or the Juilliard School of Music
Mhm.
or North Texas State University or, University of Illinois or Northwestern University or,
Right.
et cetera, et cetera.
Mhm.
Great music schools. This is where, these people have these degrees in performance.
Wow.
And that's why, when I said, if you've not been to one of these concerts, it is
Spectacular.
spectacular.
Yeah.
And generally they will play a song that recognizes every branch of the forces. And the one I was at was like, if you're a veteran or if you're currently enlisted and we play your theme song for your branch,
Mhm.
stand up.
Oh my.
And it was amazing.
Oh my.
It was amazing.
Mm.
It was powerful.
Yeah. Yeah. The few times I've seen them, and I don't know if I've ever seen them live, which is really sad. I mean, because when they're live, it's like nothing else.
Yeah.
But like you say, they are very accomplished musicians.
Yes.
And this is not like a high school or college
No.
band.
No.
These folks,
It's a professional band.
yeah. And I don't know where else would you see one like this? You don't, do you?
You live, it would be tough.
I think so.
You
I guess
see
an
them on,
orchestra like a St. Louis Symphony or something.
Right.
Is that it?
right. It would be that caliber.
I got you.
And unless you go to DC and you're watching some of the July 4th kinds of things, or that's where you would catch those. I had a roommate in college who was in the U.S. Army band in DC, the DC band, Pershing's own band,
Wow.
and he played at the Tomb of the Unknown and did a lot of Arlington ceremonies and things like that. And it's very precise, and all of those military bands they're tough to get into. But it's a great life if you play.
Yeah.
And let's face it, how many clarinet players or flute players are in any orchestra? Usually
Right.
2,
Right.
3 maybe, but
Yeah.
2. And how many clarinet and flute players are there? Lots.
Yeah.
So this is a nice venue to really
Very elite.
have a great career and enjoy it, see the world.
Mhm. Right. Oh my gosh. And it's just amazing.
Yes.
And they get out, not unlike the symphony orchestra.
Right.
They don't, I mean, they do get out, but not like this. I mean, they're out all the time and marching around and,
Yes.
at some really worthwhile events too,
Yes.
And singing the national anthems. And
Oh yeah. And
I almost pressed him and said, "Where are you going to be? I'd like to tune into that baseball game."
I was going to think maybe it was up in Cubland, but
Ooh.
so sorry.
I know it. So sorry. No, I don't know where
He's
that-
looking for the so sorry.
Yes.
Please, but please don't pop those buttons. No, I'm sorry.
There it is.
There you go.
Sorry.
They are going to be May 27th. The Band of Mid-America Marching Band is going to be at the Belleville Memorial Day Parade. So that would be something too. And you can go on their website and see where they're going to be playing in a variety of whether it's their jazz band, whether it's their
Mhm.
top 40 band or their whatever it is.
Now, is it mostly free? Or are they not?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
It's always free.
Military stuff's always kind of free.
Golly. And
We're already paying for
and
it.
yeah. Yeah, my tax bill's paid for it.
Free admission. Tickets, reservations are required, though.
Mhm. But it's free.
It's free. So
Mhm.
Tuesday, May 21st, 7 p.m., out at Chaminade at the Skip Vareg Center. May
Mhm.
22nd, 7 p.m. That's a Wednesday at the Purser Center at Logan University.
Right.
And then finally, Friday, May 24th at 7 p.m. at the Kirkwood Performing Arts Center. Go to afbandtix.com.
Mm.
That's a tough one to play. I can tell you the clarinet parts is a little challenging. The most difficult clarinet part of all of the service parts, in my opinion, is the Navy song.
Yep.
Just how it's
I
written
can't
and the key
imagine.
that it's in and just what they're asking you to do.
Wow. Pretty tough.
And something I've never heard, the Space Force song.
Oh, that's right. They do have it. I have never heard that. We have to try to look that up.
I have it right here, but it's on my iPad.
Mm.
And
We do have Bluetooth here. We've never tried it, but if you
we'll have to get that out sometime
The
and
Bluetooth
play
is-
that
it's
and talk
on.
about the Space Force and play the official song and
Mm.
because all of these songs have words.
Oh,
off
is
we
that right?
go into the wild blue yonder. When the caissons go rolling along.
right.
You know,
Okay. And what's it called? The Space Force?
the Space Force. It's called Semper Supra. So Semper is always.
It's a Space Force song, though?
Yes, the official song of the United States Space Force.
Sempre Supra. Okay.
Semper Supra.
All right. I wonder if we. Oh.
We're the mighty watchful eye, guardians beyond the blue, the invisible front line, war fighters brave and true, boldly reaching into space. There's no limit to our sky, standing guard both night and day. We're the Space Force, strong on high.
There you have it.
There you go. Off they go into the wild blue yonder. It's also, seeing the bands is like watching like the Thunderbirds or the Blue Angels. Those are the precision jet aircraft fighter pilots that fly. Seeing the Thunderbirds perform or seeing the Blue Angels perform, that is something you have to see in person too. It's incredible.
Yeah.
It's absolutely incredible.
This just goes on and on. So they take the beginning of it, they have that little lyric interlude, and then they go into this. There it is.
All right. And a lot of those bugle calls, they actually do something.
What do you
There's a
mean?
lot of bugle calls.
Oh, yeah.
There's taps. We know that one. There's reveille. We know that one.
Right.
Then there's retreat. And there's all kinds of that they used back in the cavalry days.
That's I never knew there was a Space Force song, but there is, and you even kind of knew what it was.
They have a flag too, and everything like that. And their symbol kind of looks a little like Star Trek.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll show it for
Yeah.
a little like.
Oh yeah, that is very Star
yeah,
Trek-y.
Hit your thing. Beam me up, Captain.
Star Trek.
Scotty,
I know.
the engines are buckling, Captain.
I know. I thought it was odd when we did it, but I think it's probably something that we should have had a long time ago.
Yeah. Well, considering where we are up there right now, what's going on?
Yeah, there's a lot going on up there. Wow, that was kind of exciting.
It was.
Yeah.
You have some days of the day, Mark?
It is. There are days of the day that we could talk about. I guess. Let's see. Uh, I don't know about hummus, but it's International Hummus Day,
Oh, yeah.
National Apple Pie Day,
Oh,
National Fruit Cocktail Day. It's a lot of food, you know. Fair Trade Day. How about that?
it's the only day you trade fairly. The
Right.
rest of the time you cheat.
Now we're learning all about cough drops and why they seem to be so addictive. It's National Cough Drop Day. Do you find cough drops to be addictive?
No,
There was one
except
that,
the ones with codeine in them.
well, yeah, but there's also one cherry flavored ones.
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
They were in the green boxes and
Uh-huh.
yellow boxes.
those are pretty good.
Yeah, Ludens.
Ludens, that's it. That's
Shameless
it.
plug.
Yep.
Do they still make them?
I don't know. You know, when I was a kid, we used to eat a
Oh,
lot
yeah.
of those.
Yeah.
Is that right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're like, my parents used to say, no, those are not. Those aren't
It's
candy.
not candy. yeah.
No, but they taste so good. National Crouton Day.
Mm.
You like National Leprechaun Day. Frog Jumping Day.
Mm.
I'm not making any of these up. National Women's Checkup Day. Let's see. Top Gun Day is coming up.
The what?
Top Gun Day.
Top Gun Day. Is that like the movie Top Gun?
Uh-huh.
Hmm.
Put your aviation sunglasses on and get your fighter gear ready. It's Top Gun Day,
Oh,
babe.
wow.
That's right. That's
I
right.
wonder if Tom Cruise was the one
Tom
behind that.
Cruise, I know. I hear he's still making movies. He's making another movie too. Tulip Day. How about the tulips? You like?
I love to see tulips.
I
yeah.
know. I just saw something with Tiny Tim on it. Remember that?
Tiny Tim, the
Yeah.
singer
Yeah, I
who
remember
played the ukulele.
Tiptoe through the tulips. That was Arnold. Everybody singing. There's let's see, Dance Like a Chicken Day. Let's reveal fond memories of busting out the iconic chicken dance. You remember the chicken dance?
I do.
I wish I could forget it.
Your kids say you're still doing it.
I know it. And I don't mean to be mean about dogs, but International Chihuahua Appreciation Day. They are they are so well struck, and man, do they bark.
And it's always the little dogs.
I know they bark so much.
They bark at the big dogs. I'm thinking, what are you going to do if he comes after you or
I
you get him?
know it, I know it. Oh,
They're
my
like bug eyes too. Like somebody's squeezing their back end and it's
Oh yeah, yeah.
popping their eyes out.
You got to check this out on YouTube, folks. Arnold doing the bug-eyed. Okay. Online Romance Day.
Mm.
Yeah, I never had to do that. I'm happy to say, but I do have a family member who met the love of his life on one of those sites.
And some people have met the local PD.
No, what are you talking about? I
They
get it.
thought they were romancing some teenage girl.
Oh man, okay. So I know it's terrible. It's sad. May 14th is coming up. That's the Stars and Stripes Forever Day.
Yeah, we played that Stars and Stripes kind of jazzy versions.
Which I kind of thought was kind of cool
Yeah.
that we were doing that.
Yeah.
I know. I've got just a couple of more. Let's see. National Chocolate Chip Day is coming up.
Mm.
Let's see. Buddha Day. Discover the history of Buddha Day and
Okay.
how it is celebrated around the world. This has got to be something from Congress. Asphalt Day.
What?
Yeah. The multi-purposes and incredibly versatile construction material as known as asphalt. And
Or the asphalt lobby did that.
International Family Day will be coming up. That's one.
That should be every day.
That should be, and we should celebrate that for sure. International Kangaroo Care Awareness Day. I'm not making any of this up. Oh my
I thought they only
God.
celebrated that in Australia.
I know it. National Juice Slush Day. Gosh, I know. Let's see. National Safe Dose Day.
See, you know, folks, why we give you these things? It's because you could go to your employer and say, I need some holidays. and you could list these off and say it's National Juice Day.
yeah.
It's a holiday.
I know. And for us seniors, National Senior Fraud Awareness Day.
There you go.
Join us as we raise awareness about financial fraud and National Senior Fraud Awareness Day. So help your seniors out. Yep,
Crazy.
I know. There's more, but I can't imagine you want to hear anymore.
No.
I mean, we could go on and on.
When's the last time you heard a baby laugh?
Oh,
Aren't they funny and cute like that?
yeah, they are.
Well, a baby's laughter it's one of the most beautiful sounds you will ever hear,
Mhm.
unless it's 3 a.m. and you're home alone and you don't have a baby.
Oh, man.
You know, if you've been shopping recently, you know that the prices are just kind of going crazy.
Mhm.
So, due to current food prices, the 5-second rule has been extended to 15 seconds.
Oh,
And if you don't know what the 5-second rule is, just look it up, folks.
wow. Oh, man, the 5-second.
You know you're a bad driver when Siri says, "In 400 feet, stop and let me out." So, a lot of these venues, they use groups, especially like, Ticketmaster. So,
SeatGeek.
yeah, SeatGeek's one. Yeah. So the concert ticket costs $40. The venue fee, $21.32.
No.
Access fee, $18.32. Paperless transmission fee, $12.03.
No.
Fee, $8.84. Fee fi fo fum fee, $8.84. Because we can fee, $2.01. Might as well fee, $1.89. What are you doing to me fee? $3. Another dollar won't hurt you fee, $1.
No, sorry. No, sorry.
Oh.
It's gotten that way.
My friend wins the parenting award. I've never heard of anyone doing this, but I think it's really great. She said sometimes they put movies on that are in Spanish. And when my kids get really confused and ask why they can't understand it, I tell them they're just tired and should probably take a nap. Then when they wake up from the nap, I put the same movie on in English and they think they're better.
That's it. Trick the kids.
Sometimes Amazon will deliver and now they take pictures, that it actually arrived.
Oh, right.
Unless they delivered it to the wrong address anyway.
Right.
So-
That's not my porch.
Yeah. When I complained to Amazon about a missing parcel, they asked me to send photographic evidence. I sent a picture of my hand.
Let's hear it.
When you pass away, people cry and beg for you to come back. But when you do, there's the running and the screaming.
Wow. That's wrong. Don't even say it. Whatever you're going to say, it's wrong.
So there was this sign outside a convenience store in a small town. Because a lot of times women like to try to change their men. And it says, "Girl, unless he wears a diaper, you can't change him."
Man.
My mom texted me yesterday, "What does IDKLYTTYL mean?"
I don't know.
I responded, "I don't know. Love you. Talk to you later." Mom texts back, "Okay, then I will ask your sister." And where do you fall in the pecking order of siblings?
I'm the youngest.
Okay. I'm the middle one.
Okay. That's a tough one.
So the oldest child says, "I make the rules."
Mm.
The middle child, "I'm the reason we have rules." The youngest child, "The rules don't apply to me."
That's right. That's right. I lived that.
So here's a brilliant text message, but it's Irish. "Mary, I'm just having one more pint with the lads. If I'm not home in 20 minutes, read this message again."
Oh no.
Fuel prices, they've gone up just like food price.
Yes, they have.
So they're so high that I went to the car dealership to test drove 3 cars to run my errands. Follow me for more money saving tips. Fall in love with your bills, and maybe they'll leave you too.
Oh,
Hey,
yeah.
have you ever tried to do this, Mark?
Oh.
I want to stare at someone from across the street, then disappear when a bus passes.
Love it. Let's do that. Oh.
A police officer came to my house and asked me where I was between 5 and 6.
Mhm.
He seemed irritated when I answered kindergarten. You want to know how to frighten the new generation of kids?
Yes, please.
Put them in a room with a rotary phone, an analog watch, and a TV with no remote, and then leave directions on how to use in cursive.
Oh my goodness. I just asked a young kid, do you know how to do cursive? He goes, what is that? I don't know.
Yeah.
I know, I'm kidding. It's a true story.
So husband and wife are sitting down on the couch.
Mhm.
She says, I'm exhausted. I was up until 4 a.m. with the baby. He says, it's probably not good to keep a baby up that late, honey. And I trained my dog to fetch beer. It may not sound too impressive, but he gets them from the neighbor's fridge.
It's a hawk. Just in case you didn't know.
My husband and I are doing a workshop. This is what a woman said. He works and I shop. And lastly, we'll close with this. Today's Wi-Fi password. This is from mom to the kids.
Okay.
Today's Wi-Fi password can be unlocked by texting a photo of a clean kitchen to mom. Said photograph must contain 1 box of crackers on the counter by the stove to prevent reusing any previous photos. Thank you for playing. May the odds be in your favor. And I'll just close with this one.
Okay.
This is a good one.
All right.
I asked my daughter to give me the phone book. She laughed at me and called me a dinosaur and lent me her iPhone. So the spider's dead, the iPhone's broken, and my daughter's furious.
I love it. That's the way to do it.
Well,
Holy smokes.
thanks for listening, folks. That's all for this hour. If you've enjoyed this episode, you can listen to additional shows at stlntune.com. Consider leaving a review on Apple Podcasts, Podchaser, or your preferred podcast platform. Your feedback helps us reach more listeners and continue to grow. I want to thank Bob Berthasell for our theme music and co-host Mark Langston. And we thank you at home for being a part of our community of curious minds. St. Louis in Tune is a production of Motif Media Group and the U.S. Radio Network. Remember to keep seeking, keep learning, walk worthy, and let your light shine. For St. Louis in Tune, I'm Arnold Strickler.